Welcome to Business Focus. It's great to have you joining us here today. I am Rodger Roeser. I have the honor and privilege of being the president and owner of Greater Cincinnati's largest and most award-winning public relations and investor relations firm. And yes, we do advertising and web development. Just because you're PR, that doesn't mean we're a glorified publicist. Although I'd like to be Lady Gaga's publicist right now. She's making some good money.
She's making some fantastic money.
She is. We are joined by Daniel Cross. He's the president and founder of a company called A Step Ahead Pediatric Therapy in Northern Kentucky. Dan, welcome to Business Focus.
Thank you very much.
Great to have you on here. Now, for starters, why don't you tell us just a little bit about your organization, what it is that you guys do?
In 2006, we started our organization looking to serve children with medical and physical disabilities here in Northern Kentucky and Greater Cincinnati. We looked at the market, and there just wasn't enough qualified service out there, so we stepped up and decided to open a practice to address that need.
And I think the story of you starting the company is really inspirational. You had a child that had some issues and some challenges,
Absolutely.
weren't finding exactly what you wanted, and said, hey, I can do this better.
I can do this better, exactly. My son is now 10 years old. He's on the autism spectrum disorder scale, and he's done quite well. I've been very blessed, my wife and I, but in looking for services that we wanted to help him and get him going.
Right.
Just wasn't there, so take the bull by the horns and started ourselves.
Started your own. Now, anytime that you take the leap, obviously everybody that owns a small business wasn't, they didn't hop out of a Jack in the Box and all of a sudden poof, you own a small business. You're taking some leap, you're taking some kind of push forward. The impetus for you was personal, but how have you seen that impact you as a professional?
One is part of it in looking at the biggest challenge for myself being a service-based industry, trying to do everything myself.
Sure.
Unfortunately, we're not making revenue unless we're treating children. The business side has to run in the background. So finding the team that allows me the opportunity to, one, go out and trust them to do the other side of it, but also to give up some control, that it's not all mine. I have to trust other people with my vision, and that's hard. Because again, we started it from nothing, so you're like, yeah, I want my hand in all of it.
Right. I think that, as small business owners go, all of us tend to have a little control issues.
Absolutely.
Fair enough. Or in reality, it is that entrepreneurial spirit. But you do have to surround yourself with good people, whether you're in a rock band or whether you're on a football team. There's 11 people on the team. It's not just one guy. So how do you go about finding some of these partners, whether it's an accountant, whether it's a lawyer, whether it's a PR firm, etc. How do you go about doing that?
What ours is that one person has led to one hire, led to another person. What I look for, especially when I'm hiring therapists or hiring office staff, is the willingness to grow, willingness to be independent. I basically tell therapists that I put people who do or are great at their jobs and let them do what they do.
Right.
The office staff where I was my weakest, had worked a little bit. I mean, the people that I have working for me now are not the same that started a company. That's, typical as well. But the people I have now take on new responsibilities, they take on challenges, they think outside the box. And that type of spirit is what I look for. We can always be taught a skill.
Sure. Yeah. What's the word? You hire for personality and train for expertise and so on and so forth.
Exactly.
And it's true. I mean, it's a great point because you're spending more time with these people than maybe your spouse or your children and such. So let's at least have a rewarding work environment, trusting them with your clients that you work so hard to have.
Absolutely.
When you're dealing with management issues, is that something that you realize that, oh my gosh, I'm here to help kids, but now I have to sit down and have the chat with an employee, or all these non-core things. I mean, that's tough.
It is tough. It's I talk to my staff, and I always know when I get the email, can I have a message with you? That usually is a bad thing, because most of the time in our working relationship, it's stop us in the hallway, catch us in the office. Hey, can I do this? Hey, can I do that? But when they actually send an email, then we know, okay, we got to get the policy and procedure book out and go from there.
Right.
But again, if you choose people, and I've found to be completely brutally honest with expectations, with pay, with responsibilities, and let those people self-select in.
Right.
If they come out of an interview going, that was awesome, or they come out of an interview going, I would not work for them, great. It saves us a whole lot of hassle on the back end of, this is what I think it was, I thought I'd be working different hours. So really the communication is key. And I feel that the more, and I've become a more effective communicator as the company's grown.
Sure.
saying this is what we want. Plus, I don't have the time to
Well, that's exactly
deal
right.
with the other side of it.
That's right. I mean,
Yeah.
if you're spending an inordinate amount of time in managing internal staff or managing your accountant or your PR firm or your lawyer and such and so
Right.
forth, then your core product is suffering. Your
Exactly.
core group that you're trying to serve is suffering. And that can be something that somebody believes they're a good boss because they're managing every aspect of the business. And I would say that's the complete last thing that you should be doing.
Exactly.
So you've been successful, your company's been growing, you've had really good growth over the past few years. What's your secret, and what can other small business owners learn?
The biggest part is customer service and quality. And looking at, we truly believe in the product and the
Sure.
service that we deliver. Big believer in pay it forward. There's many a time over the course of the 5 years that we've been practicing that we haven't gotten reimbursed for services. And there are some times that, yes, we're going to chase that dollar to the patient, but other times it's a good service.
Right.
You know, we did well, I want to make money, I want to be successful, but that is not the ultimate goal of what I do.
I think that is tremendous advice. I mean, what's you know, you never have to apologize for doing the right thing.
Exactly. And you look at it, and then that person's going to, instead of going out and telling 10 friends how negative they were, how much we chased them down for a $30 copay,
Right.
they're going to be like, wow, you know, they let me slide on that,
Worked
they
with me.
knew it was hard. So, and that's come back for us. I mean, that's come back for us. We've had better PR, and the special needs community in Northern Kentucky is very tight, and you start getting a negative
sure.
connotation of they're more for the money than the children, and it's hard to battle back.
Yeah, good point. I mean, once you've established your brand or your reputation, it's a heck of a lot easier to maintain and reinforce a positive brand than to just try to spend all this money, time, and effort in correcting a bad one.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
great point. Dan, thank you so much for
No
being on
problem.
Business Focus. Really appreciate it. For everybody that makes Business Focus possible, our guest, Dan Cross from A Step Ahead Pediatric Therapy, I'm Roger. Over and out.